Welcome to the BFF Real podcast, where we pick a movie and rant and review about it, always keeping it 100% real. We're your hosts,
And
Edgar.
Jayla, and today we want to invite you into our conversation on the film Charlie's Angels, the 2000 version, not the recent one that came out. The OG, that's not the TV series. And spoilers,
The OG, that's not the T. OG.
I feel like, yeah, you got me there. Spoilers going ahead, and I'm just going to read a synopsis so we're all on the same page. A trio of elite private investigators armed with the latest tech high tools, high performance vehicles, martial art techniques, and an array of disguises unleash their state of the art skills on land, sea, and air to track down a kidnapped billionaire to be and keep his high tech, top secret voice identification software out of legal hands. They're beautiful, they're brilliant, and they work for Charlie. And yeah, Edgar, how do you feel about this movie? Stunned? That's
Sure.
that's, that's
How did you feel?
it felt very 2000s, and obviously it came out in 2000 like I said, but like it's kind of a nostalgic 2000s. I've never seen this before, but it
Mhm.
gave very much like the editing, the comedy, the sex appeal. It all gave like early 2000s, mid 90s, and it kind of dated itself on that. So looking back at it, like now looking back at it, it feels, I don't know, I don't want to say corny. I found it fun, but some things about it felt a little like, I don't know. I'm gonna keep thinking of the word. Give me a minute. You go off. How did you feel about it? Complete opposite. Go say something. Step.
Uh,
Leapfrog leap.
I don't have a lot of feelings about
What
this
about this
movie.
one?
I'm gonna be so honest. I think it was a fun sit down and watch with your friends while drunk movie. Unfortunately, I did not watch it with friends while drunk. So
Did, but if you did,
if I yeah, it'd be fun. I did it. Okay, let's be real. This movie is it is very 2000s.
mhm.
Yeah, it's a classic. Clearly, it's entertaining. Charlie's Angels. The best part of the movie was the soundtrack.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, wait, because yeah, let's talk about it. They pulled up almost every single song that had the word angel on it. And I applaud them
Mhm.
because there was a lot.
Well, a lot of those songs were custom made for that movie.
Well, I know what the Destiny's
Or
Child one
some,
was,
yeah.
but
Well, that's the only one I actually know.
okay.
I'm assuming like probably like one or two more, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, but literally, if you could think of a song with angel in it, except for Shaggy, you're my angel. I think, and I almost counted it, like every 2 minutes there was a song. And like a noticeable song that you would know. They must have spent
Mhm.
money getting that
I
soundtrack.
got big banana
Yeah,
in my mouth.
yo,
That's it.
there was a couple of like I want to laugh at it scenes, but I'm not sure if I should laugh at it.
Girl, okay, let's take it from the top though. So the film starts out in the damn plane
Oh,
with a little bit of racism
that's what I'm
and
saying.
then a little more of racism. So it was like, oh, this is the BFP section. Bro was like, like, okay, go sit down, I guess. Bro sits down and they there's like a secret passcode. I don't know why the other
Who's bro?
guy would know the
Go ahead,
passcode.
say who's bro.
Huh?
Who's bro? Bro,
But I haven't gotten there yet.
you talking about
So
him?
what happened after was they flew like they fell out the plane. Well, they don't fall out the plane. Someone kicks out the plane. They're like the little action scenes. We meet two of the damn angels, and then next thing you know, the black man that we met in the beginning of the damn movie, white woman.
My
They didn't have the Asian
jaw
one play.
my jaw dropped to the floor. They not only was he a black man, he was
Hmm.
dressed in the African robes. He was,
Mm,
and he was
that was so
I
unnecessary. Why?
know for what reason? Like, and his voice sounded like a black man, and then you didn't know until he was like at the they.
Took shit out of the mouth, and there was like, "But actually,
That's what another 2000 thing about this is the over the top action sequences. Because, like you
mm,
said, they
which is fun. I did not mind.
no, it was so. I don't want to say camp because it wasn't like exactly like that.
It wasn't camp.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
But like the
but it was a little iconic.
just a
Iconic.
little bit iconic. Hmm.
It was it felt it fit.
It did its thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
it popped off a little bit.
okay. It was cute. Whatever. Because
Okay.
no, like he took this man and he threw him out the plane and himself. Like there was a bomb strapped on him. What was the plan, by the way? The guy was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna blow up this entire plane with me in it," because there was a bomb strapped to him. He
Yeah.
wasn't planning to stop it, and he wanted
Don't.
something.
mm,
Don't think about it too much. Actually, you know what?
I don't know. I That was the opening. It was just to introduce the characters and how badass they are. Apparently,
Yo,
that's what I took from that. That's it.
that person,
Nothing else.
the angels, A-list
Mhm.
celebrities in the whole movie. Actually, there were some very
Yeah.
A-list celebrities.
They used to peep young Melissa
Yeah,
McCarthy.
out of nowhere, I was like, wait,
Running around, looking like Tracy Turnblad.
they were wrong for that. 'Cause
Yeah, I bet that was probably like one of her earlier
roles,
gigs. Must
definitely.
be, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
She was so young, like a little cameo, I guess.
So we had Drew
Mm,
Barrymore as Dylan, the one who rips off her mask and it's revealed to be a white woman. We got Lucy Liu, the tech savvy badass, and we got Cameron Diaz, the blonde, bright eyed girl. I don't know. We got Bill Murray. He comes in later. We got Sam Rockwell as
hmm
Eric, which is crazy because he's everywhere. Like I've never realized how many movies he's in that I've seen. Wait, I think I'm getting my white people confused. Hold on. Give me one
no,
second.
no,
You
because
can't tell me he doesn't look like the dude from Fight Club.
no,
Are you kidding?
I don't
Are you
think
kidding?
so.
Obviously not Brad Pitt. The other dude,
It's not Brad Pitt. Like,
Edward Norton. You don't think he looks like Edward Norton?
I don't see it. However, something that I would like to point out is, and this is gonna be a long ass rabbit hole that I will eventually go into. Not right now. However, did you notice how all the like attractive men or love interest, every single one of them had the same description? Like they did like one casting type, like to look for casting, they put that description, and then out of that poll, they took all the men
Mm,
out of
dark
the
hair.
same, like every single one.
What's that description? I see dark haired, white.
Tall, white, lanky, skinny. Yeah.
I see. I see
Like
it.
every single one of them fit that exact description around the same age range too. Like it was one casting call. They did not spend more money. We're having a casting call. This is the descriptions. That's it. We're not looking for nothing else. Every single one of those men. It was wild.
Did Chad fit that?
Huh?
The Chad. You don't remember the
Shad?
Chad?
Shad. I'd say Shad fit that too.
That's insane.
Yes.
Okay.
Shad.
Not you
Played by
noticing
Tom
the.
Green.
Mm. Even the,
Mm.
the the weirdo, what was it? The creepy thin man. He fit that description too.
Shad. Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Not you know.
Every single one of them. Like every single man. Like,
But they were famous
I,
men
I
too.
don't,
They were
huh?
Luke Wilson, the one who was the love interest for Cameron Diaz's character.
Yeah,
He was
he was
famous.
in Legally Blonde. Well, he was in Legally Blonde after that,
Yeah.
but
He was also in Old School. That was a funny movie.
mm,
Tim Curry. Matt LeBlanc, the guy from Friends. That's from Friends, right? Is that not him?
do you think I watch Friends? Do you watch
I don't
Friends?
watch Friends, but you know the people from Friends. You don't know the. You're lying if you're saying
No,
that you can't identify
I know that one. I know that one lady, the blonde one. Hmm.
Jennifer Aniston.
I don't know their
Oh
name,
my god! So when you
but that's it.
Matt LeBlanc, because I just searched him up, is from Friends.
Sure. Yeah, I believe you. Yeah.
That's insane. But you don't know names, so it's fine. I guess.
Listen.
Like,
Anyways,
only
let's keep going.
okay.
So, um, jump of a plane. Then okay, I want to move to the little hip hop scene.
All
Yes,
the way into
the
the
little
movie.
hip hop scene. Do you want something else to talk about in between
Before
that?
I guess we talked about the songs. I was gonna talk about. I already talked about the Thin Man. That's really creepy. But in action movies, I usually have a counter. Well, not usually, but when it's very over the top, I have a counter. It's called the "They Would Have Been Dead" counter. So like every time I verbally say that while I'm watching a movie, I tally up the times that they would have been dead. Like there's no way. If it wasn't for movie magic, they would have been dead.
Yeah,
And my counter is at
all of
7
them,
times. All of
basically.
every single one of these people would have been dead. Let's get that.
Yeah.
I don't care how
Oh, for
good
sure.
of a spy they are. How oh my
Yeah.
god. Mm.
Lucky, yeah. Drew Barrymore tumbling naked down the freaking hill.
No, oh my god. That it was the tall creepy man, his freaking go-kart sliding off a bridge. Do you remember that when they were like facing each other in the
Oh,
and
yeah.
he tumbled off the side of a bridge? Was it the bridge? Was it the? No, I don't think it was the San Francisco bridge. Was it?
I don't know my bridges.
Okay. Tumbling down, face down into a river. He would have been dead. There is no way. And that happened before the club scene. I wanted to say that. But one more thing before the club scene, because I actually do want to talk about it. I only knew scenes of this movie through parodied scenes of this movie. The biggest one was in Scary Movie, the second Scary Movie, when Brenda, Cindy, and that other redhead girl were in the basement. And they did the little as they were beating up the guy who was also in this movie, the supposed bad guy. Was it him they were beating up, or was it the guy with the his strong arm? Take my strong arm. Was it that guy? I don't know, but in the basement they were
I
fighting.
don't know.
That's crazy. How I knew it was from Charlie's Angels, but it will always go back to Scary Movie 2 for me. Like this movie's iconic, but Scary Movie 2 just they ate that up. And that was so freaking weird seeing the inspiration for it. Yeah. Scary Movie 2. It was funny. Recommend. But okay, okay. Get to the scene.
Well, yeah, the club scene. So I don't know who the heck suggested that they go to that club full of black people
It wasn't
with
just
one or two chasers.
it wasn't just a club. That was what was it called? Soul that was Soul Plane. That's an actual plane train. That was Soul Train. That's an actual like black. Well, I've only seen black performers on it, but that's a historically black entertainment place. Like it aired for years, and it featured people like the Jacksons, the Jackson Five, and like really popular black artists got up from that place. Who thought it was a good idea to put this white woman? No, no,
Hold up.
continue, continue.
They mad at her. They say, "Yo, go up on stage," and then fucking that dope ass song started playing. I got big, brr, and then she's just wiggling, and all the everyone just looking at her like, oh, it was just amazing because I think like that was probably like my favorite scene because at some point because they got the joke. Like the movie got the joke, you know. Because if it was supposed to just be like cool and whatever,
It would have been,
like,
yeah.
but they were self aware and they did what they needed to be done in that scene.
But I don't
Kudos.
I don't understand who pitched the idea of like go white girl go white girl go white
Yes.
girl go like
You know we be doing.
it's just Cameron Diaz shaking ass at Soul
Yeah.
Train.
You know that would happen in real life.
It was, and in her head, it was like a little clip where like everyone was cheering her on, but it cuts to reality, and they're all just like,
Really?
"Bro, what are you doing?" But they were all
Yo.
chill at the end of it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, that's
It was
insane,
funny.
but cute. And see, that also gives me a little bit of 2000s charm because it's like over the top, but like I don't know, realistic. I don't know. And also, I've never seen the TV show, so I don't know if that is a reference to something in the TV show. I doubt it because that was in
Mm-hmm.
the 70s. But Soul Train was in the 70s too. Like, I don't know if that references anything, but I guess go off. It made for a cute, funny scene. But yeah, um, that scene. I'm gonna skip forward again. I actually really liked the scene. This might have been my favorite when the bad guy was revealed, like that whole scene. So
Mm.
I don't know. Sometimes, so what happens is, Drew Barrymore character Dylan, she wakes up in a bed and she supposedly slept with one of their clients, right? And she wakes up to an empty bed and she gets this phone call. It's like an urgent phone call from another angel who's like, something just happened. You got to make sure the client's okay because I was just attacked by his partner. And she's like, okay, shoot. She gets all her stuff ready and she's about to go into the room to tell him. But then his client is sitting on the chair. And she's like, oh, okay, come with me real quick to the other guy. And they were playing Scrabble earlier, so she rearranges the letters, and she's like, enemy, which I don't think I would have gotten anything from that, to be honest. Enemy,
Mm-hmm.
what? No, but she's super smart, so she writes enemy, and the guy whispers like, I know, and then he gets up and he walks around. And he does his little, it's really subtle, but he has this transformation from like this dorky little guy to like the big bad villain and is like, I don't know, maybe he ruffles his hair or something. And there's this song playing in the background. It was actually really dope. Again, the soundtrack was so good. It was just a really
Mm-hmm.
cool song. And he takes the gun and he's just like dancing while Drew Barrymore is like, oh, I'm in the
Mm-hmm.
lion's den.
Yeah, I like that scene too.
It was
But
good.
did you see it coming?
I did.
Yeah.
This see, here's the thing. Nothing about it, because we were only what 30 minutes in when that happens. There's no way that everything was wrapped
I think
up.
we're like, oh yeah, we're like 40
40?
minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it wasn't just that. It was like as soon as like everything started, it's like,
Right. Like,
and also I think okay, which is a little embarrassing for them. I think maybe they actually genuinely tried to have that as a
the
plot
plot
twist.
twist.
Because like at first, because like it would be like when you think about it, because they did try to like reference it like as soon as the film started, like, oh, she did it, and then she just comes in through the door.
Yeah,
Remember when they were like blaming her, and
yeah,
then she comes in and he's like, of course, like I would be the most suspicious one or whatever. So it's like, oh, an Easter egg type thing,
to like play it off.
foreshadowing. However, like
Yeah,
she did, like there's no doubt in my mind. I have never watched this movie ever, and I didn't know like anything of the plot,
right.
and I saw it. I was like,
Yeah, like
so it was like okay, yeah,
I didn't know why until we were like in his house and he was like talking about his dad. I'm like, okay, we're getting lore about this character now. Okay, that's why. But yeah, from the, it wasn't only that. It was so obvious when they got the
hmm
evidence that the people were asking for, and then she was like,
yeah,
"Oh, you should just give it to us. Like we could do the
yeah.
searching
I mean,
ourselves."
yeah.
So
Yeah, and which was yeah. I mean, I've been like everything. Like I don't know if they meant it as oh we're gonna try to hint it throughout, but it was like a dead ass. Oh, okay.
yeah, and like
But
I
hmm
was gonna also say, well, actually, you finish before I say what I was gonna say.
oh no, you say
Because I
talk
was
about
gonna
it.
say, along with kind of knowing what was gonna happen, a lot of this felt like filler. Like a lot, or maybe it's fan service. I
The
can't
first
tell.
chunk,
The first chunk, definitely. The side
or you just talk
romances.
about okay. I have something to say about that,
Okay,
but
going back to the
but yeah. Um. Okay, so what I was gonna say is before we get into that whole tangent,
okay.
I wanted to quickly mention because I forgot when we were talking about the fucked up shit in the beginning of the movie.
Mm.
She made like scones for everyone, like blueberry scones, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
and
Who's character, by the way?
they like here you go, and then the two white girls started like throwing it to each other, and then they threw it and it got stuck like to the wall, and then the guy walked in, mostly, and then he was like, "Oh, what is that?" And they say it's a Chinese weapon or something like that, or a Chinese fighting method. And then the girl was like, "It's not Chinese, it's blueberry." Like,
Literally.
oh.
Like I would have been more
Like,
mad if it was
girl,
her. She
I
was
would be
my mom.
pissed. Like, what you mean Chinese? Like, blueberries ain't from China. Anyways, yeah,
Yeah,
out of pocket.
that was 2000s racism, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Little casual sprinkle, sprinkle.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyways, are you ready for the actual rant?
About
The
the
rant.
men, go off. But like, do you agree with me? Like,
Yeah, say
there's
your
a lot of
piece because I'm not gonna let you speak.
damn. All right, let me get this out now. The filler that I'm
hmm
talking about is like in hindsight, I guess it gives the girls more character. And I'm talking
hmm
about there was like a little montage, and I guess it was cute, but there was a little montage that shows their previous missions or like parts of them, and it shows them like just, kind of just being girls and like also being badass, I guess. There was like a scene where they're handcuffed and they're like, this way, no, this way. And they're all talking like science-y. And then there's like another scene where it's like, what was it? It was I don't know, it just had nothing to do with the actual mission they were like in the middle of doing. And
hmm
it felt like there was a lot of those scenes sprinkled in. Sometimes it had like little nods, and I'm talking about like the romance stuff that he's about to get into. Um, but I don't know. I feel like it was a lot of fan service, and people, or like me, who's never watched the TV show, I guess, can't
hmm
appreciate it as much. And yeah, I mean, I guess, and like that's another thing because the TV show doesn't. I don't think the characters exactly translate because I looked at the TV show. There was no Asian character. They didn't like. I guess they had the distinctive hair colors. I know Farrah Fawcett was one of the people, and she was like the blonde. But this movie
hmm
like drastically does it. Like there is a black haired one, there is a redhead, which was that a wig? We'll get to the wigs and stuff. And there's a blonde one. So like they
Mm-hmm.
differentiate that.
Yeah.
So like they
Those are the 90s 2000s
you're
diversities.
you're 100% Winx Club. Yeah, you're right.
Everything. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
diversity to them. Different hair colors.
Like, oh, nah. No, yeah, just if you liked the TV show, I think this was like the actual movie to just do a lot of fan service, which is fine. But like, I'm not a fan, so that's something I think you will notice as not being a fan. All right, go off. What you got?
Okay. This film. Mm, how do I start this? This film was for men, not for the girlies. Clearly, this film was very much made for men. And it, like, you could tell, I don't know if this is true. I'm gonna look at it right now. However, it felt like it was made by a man,
Director, yeah.
and it was written by a man, made by a man for men, and they put a little blanket over it with feminism. you know,
Mm,
like they cover, like they put like a very transparent blanket that said like feminism on it. Not it. Like it felt. That's what it felt. I'm not saying that that's what like people like they wanted with
wanted it to
whatever
be.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt and that's what it is. you know,
Mm-hmm.
every single one of these women had a side plot with a man. you know, like all of them were like man crazy, and every single time you see them like do something is them being over sexualized and having to like any advantage they have is always have to be sexualized.
Mm-hmm.
It's never just straight up like strategic or acting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a side of, oh, I'm being sexy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
constantly. Like that's the whole movie. It's them girls acting hyper horny and over sexualizing to get whatever they want from men, and also wanting to get men. Multiple, like their whole life revolves around men. This film, I don't think it passes the, what is it called, the
Bechdel.
Bechdel test. That, yeah, it just it, like no like every, yeah. What are you thinking
I
about?
was thinking about the Bechdel test. I think it just does because there's like three women talking, and it doesn't.
Well,
They're not always talking about men. They talk about each other. They're like, "Oop, that's why you're the badass one. That's why." They have like little quips here and there.
I think it's a I think I agree, and I do know like the rules of the system and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's stretching it a little bit, because yes, they talk about something else here and there. However, it does not take away from constantly is talking about men.
Mm-hmm.
Like the plot is very men centric. Like this, all of these women's lives revolve around men. Like every single one of theirs,
Mm-hmm.
like fully. Like everything that we know about each individual character is revolving around men.
Mm-hmm.
you
Like,
know, besides the fact that they three know each other, they three are friends, and that's it.
yeah, yeah.
Like it, yeah.
I agree. And like, so I looked up like the '70s program, what their like synopsis is, and
hmm
it says that blah blah blah. These three beautiful detectives who cases always seem to require that they don bikinis, evening gowns, or other sexy clothing. So the TV show themselves established that kind of like
yeah, it's for
is
men.
from like
It's by men
male
for
gaze.
men.
They definitely do the male
It's
gaze.
it's a fetish. Like these women are a fetish. That's it is. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's no, and it kind of, because I didn't know this. I did not know this going into the film. I just recently watched it. I thought that, oh, because it's so referenced and stuff. I thought, oh, it was gonna be like a girl power type film or something like that. Like,
Mm,
you know. But it disappointed me a lot on how much every single one of these characters. I mean, it was written by a man. That the whole characters are supposed to be very man's fixation. Like that's the whole point of any of these characters. There's literally nothing else to them
Yeah,
at the end of the day. So yeah,
I agree. And I think,
that's why I was very meh about it. Like
uh,
at the start of this video, the whole personality is pleasing men,
yeah,
every single one of them. So
and I just
I
see it like,
yeah.
that's the reaction I got whenever they interacted with Bill Maher's character, the guy that we actually see that's on their side. And I think about it
Hmm.
like their first interaction where he was on the couch and all the girls were like cuddling up to him, and he's an
Hmm.
old man, like,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Come on, girls!" Like, very, it's kind of like fetishizing them, like as little girls,
it,
like,
the the whole plot, the whole every single character, everything about this film is literally like fan service for men.
mhm,
Like there's nothing like the plot, everything. There's nothing else.
mhm.
So it that
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, which was very disappointing because the women actors they're amazing.
mhm.
Like those, like the actresses they have for this film are
A.
insane. It's so disappointing.
I don't know if at the time they
Yeah,
were, but they're definitely A list now.
yeah, now, yeah, and I bet like this film helped, like because it was a huge success. I and I understand there were different times. I'm still disappointed. Like I don't care, and I'm not curious to watch like the very new one that released like 5 years
Oh,
ago
like
to
2019.
see if they changed anything or if it's still the whole plot, their whole characters and personalities are trying to please
Woman
men.
director in that one, if that's anything. So I don't know.
That might be more
Better.
helpful because yeah, yeah. But besides that, I love the music. I love the women that were in the
The
cast.
actors
You
themselves.
know,
Yeah.
that's pretty
How
much
did you
it. It
feel
was a
about
fun movie. If I was like drunk as fuck, just
just
casually watching it one time, however, that was not the case.
mm.
And yeah, yeah.
How did you feel about the costume and wardrobe? Did you notice it a lot or was it kind of just like
Um, I kind of did a little bit here and there. It was clever. It was whatever. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't bad. It did what needed to be done. It didn't. It was correct.
it was correct? That's a good
Yeah, that's yeah. It was amazing. It wasn't it bad at all.
one.
It was literally what it was
Supposed to do.
supposed to be.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just think about it because, like, there was a couple of scenes that I can remember stand out with wardrobe that I was like, okay, they kind of, they did a little something here. It
Hmm.
was Drew Barrymore when she woke up and she was wearing like the sheet as a toga, kind of. And you could tell that was like an actual, what do you, huh?
You was like, "Ooh, fashion moment."
No, no, no. I was thinking, oh, clearly this is like an outfit that was made, but she's trying to pass it off as her just
Yeah.
wearing a. I'm just wearing a blanket. Don't mind me. But that was clearly like her boobs were outlined.
You know what I don't get in
What?
movies? A lot of times we see them like after sex happens. We
Hmm.
see people like try to like cover them up, even though it's just them and the
It's
person that they just had sex with in the
yeah.
room, and they're like,
It's
and like walking around with like, oh, cover it or try to like cut like.
it's post orgasm realization. Like I
Like
don't
if
understand.
you're gonna have sex in your movie and you're gonna go there, just go there. Like that's my opinion on all of that. Or if not, just don't show that. Like skip, do
Just
something.
mm.
It's lazy.
You said show me titties. You just here for the
Listen,
titties.
I'm just being real. I mean,
I guess. I think in that case where she literally that was her client, she folded way too easy. Let me say it.
oh
No,
yes, all of them did.
Yes. But the other
Like that's the whole point of their
no, but
characters.
the other guys were like kind of nice guys. I don't know if you noticed, but
Yeah,
that guy,
but that's on the guys, not on the women.
true, true. Lucy Lou's guy,
Like,
the one from Friends, he got his entire trailer shot up. There were bullet
oh, that's
holes in it folded in on itself. Like it
hmm
sandwiched itself. And
he
he was
was like,
like,
it's
oh.
okay.
He's like, go see Charlie. It's fine, I guess. His whole living room is gone. Like that man's a struggling actor. Well, we don't know struggling, but like he's an actor. That was
Literally.
his trailer.
On a set, bro had a trailer
I
on a
was
set in
sick.
California. I think that's money, baby.
You think so?
He's
Okay.
working,
Oh god.
but
Like not anymore, I guess.
still, like,
That's another
I
scene
don't.
where Lucy Liu would have been dead. I don't care. Those none of those bullets hit the ceiling. She's so skinny that she they just like didn't get nah. Would have been dead
Yeah.
immediately. But no. So the toga scene, um they always had Cameron Diaz's character, the blonde one. They always had her boobs
Mhm.
out, like in every single outfit.
Pretty much. At any chance, I remember when they jumped in the water and they were going to the damn thingy,
Mhm.
and then she was it was slow motion and she like took it off and like you could see the side of her titties too. I was like, oh, I wouldn't expect less from this movie. That's what I can
Yeah,
say.
that's her character, I guess.
Yeah, like, their whole point of every single one of these characters is to please men,
Hmm.
and that's it. I cannot go past that. Like there was nothing else,
And yeah,
literally nothing else, nothing else to their characters, nothing.
yeah.
It was insane.
I think the beginning and the middle part were more uncomfortable for me seeing those because
Mm,
literally introducing that character, Cameron Diaz's character, she was
hmm.
dancing in her room only wearing tidy whities and like
Ah,
she opens the
yeah,
door for a mailman in her where's your sense of
yeah,
self-preservation, girl?
yeah. And the panties, and she's like,
Yes.
"Thank you."
Like
That
I get
I
it.
mean that's just the plot. I
Uh,
think there's. I mean, I said it that yeah,
it's
it was
expected.
very disappointing.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed watching this film. I think it is such a like a pop culture phenomenon.
Mm.
Like we see it referenced all the time, and that Destiny Child song that is literally like my life.
Which is crazy
Amazing.
because, like, when I think of or when I thought of Charlie,
The Destiny Channels, yeah, when you hear that song,
yeah,
it's literally like independent women. Like that's the
these women
whole
were not.
song.
These women were
And this woman do not be independent. I think they will each commit suicide if they had no men.
stop.
Like like they couldn't live without men. Every single one of these women that like
And even like not if they're boyfriends or like the people they're like out with right then. What about Charlie
mhm.
himself? Like the idea of like protecting this man with everything you got. I know he's supposed to be like
You know
a
him.
figure. They don't know him. They don't know him. They pay him. I mean, he pays them, which
Right.
I mean, it must be good money.
Not that well, because like what are they
You don't
they
think
be
so?
just staying with men most of the time.
He
Like
has a yeah. Lucy Liu to have a side job as an actor. I don't think. Maybe I don't know. Actually, I don't know how much actors. We do know how much actors make. Actually, never mind.
yeah. Okay. I mean, I have nothing else
To
about this
say
movie.
about
I
it.
said what I said.
Yeah, and like as much as I'm like kind of talking smack about it, I think it's the 2000s appeal
Mhm.
that's still like
Yeah.
uh, it's
It's a fun movie, like I said. However, it's not like I'm not watching for the plot at all.
yeah.
Like there's nothing there.
There. And what I was saying earlier,
The cast is
when
great.
you think
The
of
music's great.
yeah,
Like,
when you think of
yeah.
Charlie's Angels, like you were saying, independent woman, badass fighting trio. Yes, they answer to Charlie, who's like a man, but like
Yeah.
I always think of like spy espionage, like the cool girls. But this movie
I
did not
I, it it disappointed hard for
saying that.
me.
Oh, they're not just. these spies, or they know how to use their sexuality, but that like sexuality
It
doesn't
wasn't
define them.
that. Like,
It yeah,
it wasn't like, oh, this person's using their such, like, you could write this so much better.
you could.
Like, so much better.
Yeah.
And it was just a horny fantasy that someone sat down and wrote, and then they made it because they're rich and white and they're men and they can.
And they wanted to play on the nostalgia of Charlie's Angels, I guess.
Get the 70s, which is also written by a horny man that just woke up one day and like,
In the 70s.
yeah, this is literally so. I think, yeah, I'm all set for ratings.
Yeah, I'm ready to.
What do you rate it,
I
Jayla?
give it a 6.
A six?
Yeah.
Mm,
I again nostalgia. But plot wise, everything you know everything
mm-hmm.
that's gonna happen. And the woman 6. 6. What about
Yeah,
you?
I
Be nice. Find
be
it.
nice. I'll give it. I was
No.
okay. I'll give it a
Be real.
3 for the music,
Okay.
the soundtrack of the movie, and then I'll boost it. I'll boost it up to 3.5 because of the nostalgia. I cannot go higher than a 3.5.
What about the
I really
actors?
cannot. That gets included in the nostalgia.
Yeah. That's not even dang
I cannot, like, wholeheartedly. I cannot go any higher with this
with
film.
a good
There's
conscience.
nothing there. Like, who the heck am I gonna recommend this movie to? Nobody.
Fans of the original TV show? I don't know.
Who? I don't know
Listen,
you know people who were around in the 70s watching that and they're fans, and you're gonna communicate like, oh yeah, you should watch the 2000, like, what scenario, Jayla?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know them personally. I'd be like, oh yeah, this is a movie. So 3.5.
Yeah,
That's oof.
I cannot go higher. Like,
Uh,
physically, I cannot. Like, what is there to justify me going higher?
I'm just saying,
Besides nostalgia, the
right?
women character cast members,
Hmm.
and I mean, yeah, like, if I'm sitting here and reviewing it as a film,
Hmm.
I can't really just go off of, oh, the cast was amazing though.
Right. And I respect
Like,
it too.
it's not fair.
But like for
I
people,
could say the acting was good and whatever, you know. However, they had nothing to work with that I enjoyed.
mm,
So like, automatically, like, I can see the acting was good. They're amazing. They're clearly
yeah,
all amazing
it was clever.
actresses,
Right.
but they were just toys for men throughout the whole film. Like, that's literally what their whole characters were. So it's like, I'm not gonna give points for
In
that.
good conscience. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like, I can't. So the soundtrack, I think, like, that's the only thing this film has going for it,
Yeah.
and the fact that they hired amazing, it's an
Yeah.
A-list cast. That's it. You can't do much with A-list cast and good soundtrack. You didn't make the music. You didn't create the actors.
Damn.
You create the movie, and the movie is shit.
Damn.
So, eh.
All right. I think maybe my points go to rewatchability, but it's not even like a I'll rewatch it like fully paying attention. That's
If
definitely
I will never fully watch it paying attention. Like I said, it's so drunk. You're hanging out with your friends and you're getting drunk, and then you play this movie. Clearly, you're not gonna pay attention
like
to that
still. Like
movie.
maybe you're playing like board games in the forefront and then
Yeah,
in the back.
I know. We need movies that we're not gonna pay attention to, but they'll be nice to have in the background for the noises. This is literally that movie.
I just took that.
This is perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect for that. Listen to it. Ooh, a bob's coming. Yeah. That's it. That's the only good thing this movie
And
is
then and then when you
for.
hear the bop, you'll pause it and be like, "That's the song I was looking for." Pause the movie, go to that song. You know, maybe just put on the soundtrack instead of watching the movie.
There you go. Season one.
So
I'm
I
kidding.
didn't say all that. Damn.
See, loophole. No. Put up pictures of the women character, the cast, and then just put on that soundtrack in the background. There you go.
Just a slideshow.
That's the only worth it thing. Yeah. There you go.
Damn.
You're not missing out besides that. Literally, like that's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall.
Anyways, thank you all for coming and stopping by for this lovely rant and review. Please join us again. Watch our
Mhm.
previous videos. Yeah, this is Edgar.
And Jayla, and please go follow us on Instagram at the BFF Real, and we'll see you next time. Peace.